All right, we are live. This is TikTok Live number 27. A quick surprise pop on the podcast here. TikTok Live 27. It's been 2 months since the last one. I'm not happy about that, but I'm trying to streamline the process a little bit better to get them up, online, YouTube, podcast, etc. Taha joined. What's up, Taha? What's going on? Thanks for joining TikTok Live number 27. What's going on, everyone? Today, podcast family, sign into the podcast. Excellent. All right, we are live. We are set up here. Joining during the middle of the day, I noticed on TikTok isn't as, because it's earlier in the day, not as many people going on, but that's fine. DTLA 93 joined. Jake Ye joined. What's going on? This is the Q&A session. This is a live Q&A session. I'll be putting this up on YouTube and hey, Taha, what's up? On YouTube and podcast later. So Stacy joined. What's up? Taha said, love your content. Currently a sophomore in college. Pre-dent track, nice, very nice. In about a year or so, you might want to start thinking about the DAT, the dental admissions test. That's going to be really important there, Taha. Excellent. Shelly joined. Rochelle Travis joined. Jesse joined. What's up, friends? What's up, podcast family? Pig Sky Baller joined. Maj Alterwatch joined. Jason Keeley joined. Kelly Dean Smith joined. Kim Jong-un joined. Paul joined. Patrick Scharf joined. W. Schroeder. Ronald Zambrano. What's going on? AJ joined. What's up, AJ? Eric Campbell joined. Tatiana Marie joined. What's up, Tatiana? Scott Passanante joined. What's up, Mr. Passanante? Janine joined. Hassan joined. Crystal Lazaris joined. What's going on, guys? Let's fire up some questions. Peggy Escobar, Jackie Wilson. What's going on, friends? Let's run some questions by. This is a live Q&A session. I'll post this to podcast and YouTube later. Vernon Williams joined. H Queen 1 joined. Do you joined. What's up, friends? What's going on? What questions we got today? So Taha, as far as sophomore year, it's a really crucial time to start to think about. Got my avatar, the last Airbender shirt on. And Taha, a sophomore year of college and third year is a good time to start thinking about when you're going to take the DAT. Hopefully you're getting some observing and shadowing experience. If not, you're going to want to do that as well as volunteering experiences. Just got a question from Hassan. What's up, Hassan? There we go. Hassan asked, did you know in dental school you'd want to go to OMFS? Yeah, so I shadowed an oral surgeon prior to starting dental school. And I knew I was very interested in it. I did have my mind open. I was shooting for oral surgery, not gunning for it. Shooting for it, but very aware of other specialties out there. I didn't know for certain that it was going to be oral surgery until later on. But during dental school, it's solidified 100%. I love doing surgical procedures in oral cavity, teeth, titanium implants, zygomatic implants, maxillofacial stuff, trauma, a lot of fun. Benevolence joined. What's up? Brittany joined. Fake Runts joined. Elizabeth Montgomery joined. What's up, Elizabeth Montgomery? Taha said, what were your biggest factors that played a role in your dental school admissions? I would say good GPA, coming from a strong university college. I went to Stevens Institute of Technology. Being from Long Island, they do take at least more than half the students are from New York. Probably around 75% of the students were from New York at Stony Brooks. In-state of the dental school was important. Good letters of recommendation, a good DAT score, and a solid number of shadowing and observe hours. Jacob Fire said, I love blondes. All right, Jacob. Same. Little blonde hair for you. We're not Ronald. Taking the DAT next week, what are some last minute tips, especially for what to do on the day before the exam? So the day before the exam, definitely get a lot of carbs in. Definitely store up some energy, get a great night's sleep. The 1 to 2 days before you take any big exam, I know it's tough to get sleep, but you have to do the best you can. Get to sleep earlier when you can. You're just going to lie there awake, but that's better than getting to sleep too late, because when you take that test, you're most likely taking it in the morning. You're going to want to get up and your mind be in it. The later you wake up and the days leading up to the exam, the more likely your head's going to be in a fog. You're going to be a little bit, you're not going to be as sharp and focused that morning of your test. So that's why I really recommend making sure you get to bed on time and be consistent with waking up early. All right. That's something I always have to work on myself, being consistent with waking up early, but that's definitely something you want to consider before your exam. Hassan, so after discovering you were interested in surgery, were you ever between medical and dental school? Yeah, so I was initially thinking medical school or PA school, and then I met some dentists at the gym who were awesome. They had crazy workouts. They would get there at 5 a.m. on weekdays, just like the most motivating and awesome and smart, intelligent dudes that I met at the gym, and they were great mentors, and they mentored me through college, through dental school, and even now through residency. Yeah, I just spoke with one of the big guy, the oral surgeon who was basically my idol, but my mentor through undergrad. He's an oral surgeon on Long Island through undergrad, through dental school, and through residency. And he had sold his practice, his multi-practice, to a DSO. And personally, I don't think a DSO's culture and growth patterns over the business over years. I really want to be in a private practice setting, so I'd have a little bit more input, and I'd feel much more part of a team if you're an owner rather than a part of even the board of a DSO that really relies on and takes orders from the private equity team. And sure, there are DSOs that don't have that, or so they claim that they don't have that. But I don't know. History has shown that the private equity companies, the investors need to get paid back, and they end up making and dictating most of the decisions, large decisions throughout the corporation life cycle. So that's not something that I'd be considering to be a part of, because I'd much rather be a part of a team atmosphere that the vision of the team and the owners and the partners in the organization dictate those decisions and growth leading forward. So that's what it was. Anyway, what I'm getting to is that it was disappointing that I feel like, to me, it felt like I let him down, and that wasn't the thing. I can't feel comfortable in going into a DSO at least next year, my first year at Residency. I need to get into private practice prior to exploring DSO and corporate options. Just my thoughts there. All right, so I hope that answered your question, Hassan. I know that was a lot, but those are my thoughts at present. Taha, is there a difference between research hours and shadowing hours? Yes, research hours are when you're on a project, probably at your university or college, with a professor that's involved with research, right? Shadowing hours are when you're actively observing and maybe even participating in assisting for a dentist, a general dentist, a specialist, and so on. Okay. Ronald, what would you do study-wise the day before the exam? Yeah, so Ronald, the day before the exam at GAT, CBSC, just reviewing topics that you had gotten wrong along the way. You know, those notes that you wrote down, I got to remember this. I would review those the day before the exam. I wouldn't go for the CBSC specifically. That was the hardest test I took last. I tend to take another board exam in like 5 months. That'll be another big one. The CBSC, just go over the questions you got incorrectly, for example. Okay, the DAT, same thing. Things that you wrote down along the way that you want to remember prior, that's what I would go for. Hayden Harrison, tips for OMFS interviews this fall. And then he did the emoji for the cross fingers. Well, Hayden, first of all, congrats. Good luck on these interviews coming up. You're in an exciting time right now. You really are. The next 6 to 9 months is going to be very exciting before you start. Between interviews, between seeing these programs in person before the interviews, and then match day and whatnot. So very exciting time for you. I remember that time for me very distinctly 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago right now. And so Hayden, what I would say is, remember that interviews are a conversation. It's not a multiple choice exam. You want to know those 4 main topics that you talk about, such as tell me a little something about yourself, condensed in under about a minute and a half tops. 2, tell me about your strengths. 3, tell me about your weaknesses. And 4, tell me about why you want to apply to this program. Why our program over others? Make sure you know specifics about that program, okay? And why you really personally connect with them. That's a very important thing to consider too. And just a conversation after that, talking about what you did in dental school, what interests you about your externship trail, stuff like that, okay? Hannah B. Brendan, what's up, Hannah? How we doing, Hannah B? What's going on? A.T. Berlin's thoughts on Botox for TMJ, TMD. So TMD, temporomandibular disease, is when you have a condition in certain stages. There are 4 or 5 different stages of TMJ or TMD, temporomandibular disease again. And Botox could be more of a actual conservative measure for when it's generally a myofascial pain or musculature spasm or cramping of the muscles of mastication, mostly the masseter muscle. That's the muscle right over here. This chunk of muscle, in addition to the parotid gland being in this area, the masseter muscle is what connects from your zygomatic arch right up here to the lateral edge of your mandible, your lower jaw, and helps with mastication, right? Chewing. And many times Botox is given, especially right around the gonal angle here, right around the lower edge, the point, the back angle, if you will, of the mandible. And it can help relieve pressure and stress and cramping of that muscle over time. If you're grinding, if you're clenching at night, for example, just remember, Botox doesn't last forever. It lasts about 3 to 4 months, roughly, tops. And it does take, could be up to a week before it sets in. So those are my thoughts. It can be helped, but in the conservative measure, it's a non-surgical approach. Hassan, thank you so much. You got it, Hassan. Ronald, does paid assisting count as shadowing hours, or are they separate? Well, you're literally shadowing and observing in addition to assisting, so I count those. I count those as shadowing hours, Ronald. Hassan, I'm looking to take the MCAT soon. I don't know whether to stick with med school or switch to dental. Well, you're at that crossroads. You're a sophomore in Hassan, you're the sophomore in college, right? You need to get more observation and experience, like witnessing what dentists versus doctors do. You need to get more time, see different specialists, see what the general doctors and dentists do, because that's going to give you the biggest insight to whether you enjoy it or not, right? You just got to get in there and get some more exposure. Exposure is the biggest thing. Timmy, your left ear is nice. So this is my left ear, but this is my right ear. All right, left over right, huh? Okay. All right. K2 Bullens, thanks. It looks like it restarted, but I don't know if it's going to continue with where we were. What do we get? What do we get out of it? Like 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe? All right, well, let's finish up. Hassan, thank you for your help. Looking forward to other lives. I have just been concerned more about work. No, man, just keep at it. Hassan, you're right where you're supposed to be, right where you should be, and just keep at it from there. Are 4-year programs more competitive than 6? In some cases they are, in some cases there aren't. I believe that they are getting more and more competitive than the 6 years. The reason being is, in general, in some areas of the United States, there are less 4-year programs, and with the rising tuition, the rising loans, the rising time of our careers and lives, people don't want to spend those extra 2 years getting their MD when they're not going to use it 99% of the time in oral surgery, right? The 4 years do the same things as the 6 years. It's when you go on to further training, fellowships, research, that's when that MD can be more useful or helpful. But you see what I mean? People just want to get through now. And it's probably going to get more that way. Hassan, work-life balance and life years down. Yeah, man, that work-life balance is serious. I am John. How did you study in dental school? The biggest thing for studying in dental school was Quizlet. For me, I found out a little late, but being able to make Quizlets and with other students in your class, like I get the first lecture, you get the second lecture, you get the third. Putting figures in, get Quizlet Premium where you can include figures of the condition or the lesion or the whatever that topic is, extremely helpful. That's how you remember it, by seeing the photo. All right, friends, I'm going to sign off now. I am John. Is it better than Anki? So I would try both out. I tried both out, and I liked Quizlet better. There's Quizlet, there's Anki, there's another one. I forget the name of the dental student at the school just told me about it the other day. But I forget the name of it, and apparently it's really good. I like Quizlet because it gives you the opportunity to filter out what you learned and from what you need to learn more of, right? I know Anki does that too, but Anki does it for you kind of, where I like to do it myself with Quizlet. So, all right, friends, that's it for today. I'm signing off now. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for visiting Podcast Family. I'll be posting this on podcast and YouTube, the channels on Twitter as well. And I'm always going to give a shout out to the top 3 listeners. So if you stayed on for the whole podcast, remember, I'm going to be putting you on in the caption, in the bio of that, in the caption of that video, the podcast and the YouTube video. All right, friends. All right. We'll talk soon.